The 3764 Elvis Presley Boulevard. Hit it, Elvis. You got me.
Hi everyone, Elvis back on tour coming to you from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We are on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University at the Murphy Center, also known as the Glass House. And as you can see, one of the most beautiful buildings that we've ever documented. Elvis performed here in March of 1974 on March 14th and the 19th of 1974, and then came back again in April and May of 1975. In 1974, he performed here for 12,200, and then when he came back in 1975, for whatever reason, that number was reduced down to 12,000 flat. So we're going to go inside and we're going to take a look around and create another document of another building that Elvis made history in, and we hope you enjoy what you're getting ready to see.
The Charles M. Murphy Athletic Center, or more commonly called the Murphy Center, opened December 11, 1972, and is named in honor of former athletics director Charles M. Murphy, a standout athlete at the college in the 1930s who also served as head coach of the university's football, basketball, and baseball programs. MTSU did a fantastic job honoring Elvis's performances in the building.
The Murphy Center is very unique in that it does not have traditional corridors as most concert venues do. Instead, what would have been the corridor area serves as an indoor track. We wondered if it was like that in Elvis's time, and we came across this cool picture in the timeline from 1976 showing an indoor track meet. Pretty cool use of space, in our opinion. Michael and I agree that the Murphy Center ranks in our top 5 of beautiful venues that we've toured. In this case, it's due to the fact that it's mostly glass, which lends to the nickname, the Glass House. A cool fact that we learned during our tour is that since Elvis's time, the glass has been replaced with smart glass, which can be used to control the lighting inside. This is the overhead door entry point where Elvis's limo entered the backstage area. In 1974, it would have looked more plain, but today we see that many of these venues now use a lot of color and graphics to capture your attention.
Elvis's limo would have driven into the building using this garage door. He then would have started his walk to the dressing room at the end of the hallway. You may be wondering why Elvis would have been taken to the other side of the building. We were told that the dressing room you are about to see is the only dressing room in the building that is used by entertainers. If you go back 40 years, these hallways would have looked much different. Today they are decorated with artwork and graphics.
This is the room that Elvis used prior to stepping on stage. The director of the Murphy Center told us that entertainers still use the same room. Today, the dressing room is beautifully decorated and a far cry from how it may have looked 48 years ago. To our surprise, the director arranged for a sound crew to be on hand to allow us to reenact Elvis's walk to the stage on March 14, 1974. You are hearing exactly what Elvis heard during that walk.
After the show, Elvis would have been whisked away in his limo using the garage door ramp, and then it was off to the hotel.
During his time in Murfreesboro, Elvis used the second floor of the Ramada 3 miles away. An article we found called it a modern, classy place for this town. Let's take a look.
Okay, we're standing in front of the room that Elvis occupied, or we have documentation on this, that Elvis stayed in room 208 during his March 1974 tour here in Murfreesboro. We also have newspaper clippings that show that he stayed here and show that he stayed in this room, as well do our tour sheets. So we just wanted to come inside because rarely we can come to a city and come to a hotel where we can do the venue and the hotel where he stayed. Fortunately for us, this hotel is still here, and we're able to come in and document it. And again, this is one of those situations where this is about 3 miles from the Murphy Center where Elvis performed. And back in those days, there wasn't a hotel on every corner like we've discussed so many times before. And so when you came to a city, a smaller town like Murfreesboro and things like that, you had to stay obviously where, what was available. So a standard room, it wasn't Chicago, it wasn't New York City, it wasn't, Los Angeles or any of those big cities. It was Murfreesboro, smaller town, and maybe one hotel available. So this was the room that he stayed in, just a standard room, no presidential suite, nothing fancy, just a regular hotel room. And we know for a fact that the group stayed here as well, so they had probably much the entire second floor. So we're going to take you now on the path. We have a photo of Elvis coming out of the back of this building to go over to the Murphy Center to do his show. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take you on the path that we know that he had to take because of the way the doors in this building are situated and the way the staircases are situated. So we know he went out that back of this building, okay, but he did not go out that door that you see at the end and go down a staircase because it was set up that way for security purposes, because if you go out that door, there were a lot of fans out there that night and Elvis would have been exposed too long at a higher elevation. So the idea was get him down through a staircase on the ground floor and then get him out. So let's take a walk and we'll show you the path that they took to get out of here. Like I say, we do know for a fact that he came out on the ground floor because we have a picture of him coming out the door on the ground floor. And the only way in this building to get to that doorway is to go down these stairs. This again is one of those situations, the more Michael and I do this, this is one of those situations where you can definitely sense the guys. I can see him coming through here 50 years ago with his jumpsuit on, ready to go to work. All the guys around him, Joe Esposito, Dick Grobe, Red, Sonny, all those guys, I can just see him filling this hallway. So in the photo we'll post in this video of Elvis leaving this building, when we go out this doorway, there were a bunch of fans out here in the back. The original owner of this building, who's now since retired and left, had documentation here that said that there were probably a couple hundred fans in this back parking lot. And so in the picture, you see the car would have been here. He would have come out that door, gotten in the car, and then left for the Murphy Center. But in the picture, you'll see these two posts, you'll see the corner of that stairway, and the current owner was telling us that the outside of the building has changed. In the picture, you'll see brick, but that's been changed, and there's been like an overlay, kind of a facade put over top of it. Obviously the brick is still in there, but it's just kind of been updated over time, and that's how it looks now. But here we are, 48 years later. This stuff is still here, still standing, and that's the staircase in that picture. Okay, guys, before we leave Murfreesboro, I just want to share with you a cool little story. A lot of times people ask us, do you feel Elvis's, presence and stuff like that? And I can honestly say that many times we do, based on what we're doing in the building or the building, the music that we're playing in the building, that kind of stuff. But a cool little thing happened today in Murfreesboro. When we were walking up, I was talking to Michael in the parking lot. We were walking up to the building. I was talking to Michael about a button that I saw a while back. It was a button that you could buy here when you came to the concert back in '74, and it was "I saw Elvis at Middle Tennessee State University" in 1974. And I said, wouldn't it be cool to have that button? Well, we came in and we started walking up the stairs, and I found this button, which really has nothing to do with Elvis, but I just thought, we're talking about buttons, and then I find this button and it just says, welcome. So we're going up and we do we're going up and we're doing our work inside, our music work and everything. And when Michael goes down to the back to do the walk up to 2001, I was out just kind of walking around in the seats, and I looked down and I said, there's no way that this could happen. So it's just a funny little story, but I just thought this was so amusing. I find another button that's in pristine condition. We're here for Elvis, so you got the music note and then a lightning bolt. So what are the chances of that? So another one of those cool little stories.
Michael and I would like to thank Boniface Amuzu, the director of the Murphy Center. He went above and beyond to ensure that we enjoyed our visit. He even scheduled Judah, a member of the MTSU sound crew, to work the soundboard for the day. It was an experience we will never forget. Thanks to you both.
Thank you very much. Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me?
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe as well as follow us on all of our social media accounts using the link in the description below.